Hello dear learners, welcome to this SWAYAM NPTEL online course on inclusive education. I am Dr. Umakant Prasad, an assistant professor from Department of Education, Vishwabharati Shantiniketan. This is week 8 and today we are going to discuss lecture number 40, that is National Commission for Scheduled Tribes. During this lecture, we will discuss scheduled tribes in India, a demographic profile, definitions of scheduled tribes, particularly vulnerable tribal groups, National Commission for Scheduled Tribes and related concept, for example, early provisions and evolution, composition, vision and mission, role and mandate, specific functions and duties of National Commission for Scheduled Tribes, powers and methodology and wings of National Commission for Scheduled Tribes. Let us discuss scheduled tribes in India, a demographic profile. According to National Census 2011, scheduled tribes constitute 104 million people, accounting for 8.6% of India's total population. They are distributed across the country, but are largely concentrated in forest, hilly and remote regions. With significant populations in states such as Madhya Pradesh, Chhattisgarh, Jharkhand, Odisha, Maharashtra, Gujarat and the northeastern states. Scheduled tribes represent a culturally diverse segment of society with more than 700 tribes recognized under the Constitution. Madhya Pradesh has the highest tribal population in India as per National Census 2011. The list of top 10 ranked states with highest tribal population is as follows: Madhya Pradesh, Odisha, Maharashtra, Rajasthan, Chhattisgarh, Gujarat, Jharkhand, Andhra Pradesh, West Bengal and Karnataka. The essential characteristics of scheduled tribes include primitive traits, relative geographical isolation, distinct cultural identity, shyness of contact with the wider community and economic backwardness. Many scheduled tribes depend on forests and agriculture for livelihood, while also facing challenges such as land alienation, low literacy, inadequate health care and limited access to modern opportunities. Let us discuss the definition of scheduled tribes. The Constitution of India does not give any definition for scheduled tribes. However, with the formation of the National Commission of Scheduled Tribes, various acts like Protection of Civil Rights Act 1955 and Scheduled Caste and Scheduled Tribe Prevention of Atrocity Act 1989 amended in 2015 and its rule 2016 have got recognition. According to Article 366 of 25 of the Constitution, scheduled tribes are those communities that are scheduled in accordance with Article 342 of the Constitution. Also, Article 342 of the Constitution says that the scheduled tribes are the tribes or tribal communities or part of or groups within these tribes and tribal communities which have been declared as such by the President through a public notification. Among the tribal groups, several have adapted to modern life, but there are tribal groups who are more vulnerable. The Devar Commission 1973 created a separate category, that is primitive tribal groups, which was renamed in 2006 as particularly vulnerable tribal groups. Then what is the particularly vulnerable tribal groups? Particularly vulnerable tribal groups are more vulnerable among the tribal groups. Due to this factor, more developed and assertive tribal groups take a major chunk of the tribal development funds. because of which particularly vulnerable tribal groups need more funds directed for their development. In 1975, the Indian government declared 52 tribal groups as particularly vulnerable tribal groups. In 1993, 23 groups were added in the list. Hence, there are 75 particularly vulnerable tribal groups out of 705 scheduled tribes. Odisha has the highest number of particularly vulnerable tribal groups. In 2020, the Odisha government further identified 888 villages, hamlets inhabited by particularly vulnerable tribal groups. The particularly vulnerable tribal groups are spread over 18 states and 1 union territory in the country, according to National Census 2011. The characteristics of particularly vulnerable tribal groups are, in terms of technology, that is pre-agricultural, literacy level that is extremely low, and economy that is subsistence level. To address these disparities, the Government of India has adopted a three-pronged strategy of social empowerment, economic empowerment and social justice under 5-year plans and subsequent schemes. This includes protective legislations, reservation in education and employment, special component plans and targeted development programs. Thus, the demographic profile of scheduled tribes highlights both their rich cultural heritage and the pressing need for inclusive policies to ensure their full participation in national development. Let us discuss the National Commission for Scheduled Tribes. The National Commission for Scheduled Tribes is a constitutional body in India established by amending Article 338 and inserting a new article, that is 338A in the Constitution through the Constitution by the 89th Constitutional Amendment Act in 2003. Prior to this amendment, the erstwhile National Commission for Scheduled Castes and Scheduled Tribes was replaced by two separate commissions. First one is National Commission for Scheduled Castes and second one is National Commission for Scheduled Tribes, that is effective from 19th February 2004. The National Commission for Scheduled Tribes primarily objective is to safeguard the rights and interests of scheduled tribes in India. It achieves this by investigating and monitoring all matters related to constitutional safeguard, inquiring into specific complaints regarding the deprivation of rights and advising the government on the socio-economic development of scheduled tribes. The Commission also submits report to President on the implementation and working of these safeguards, ensuring that tribal communities receive the protection, welfare and development measures which they are entitled to. Let us discuss early provisions and evolution. The Constitution of India originally provided for a special officer for scheduled castes and scheduled tribes under Article 338. This officer, known as the Commissioner for Scheduled Castes and Scheduled Tribes, was tasked with investigating all matters related to the constitutional safeguards for both communities and reporting to the President of India on their implementation. This was the first formal provision for safeguarding the rights of these communities after independence. The evolution of National Commission for Scheduled Tribes can be traced through key constitutional amendments and government actions, such as in 1978, the Government of India, recognizing the need for a multi-member body, created the non-statutory multi-member Commission for Scheduled Castes and Scheduled Tribes. The special officer post was retained. In 1990, the 65th Constitutional Amendment Act replaced the single person special officer and the multi-member commission with a single high-level National Commission for Scheduled Castes and Scheduled Tribes. This was a constitutional body with a chairperson, vice chairperson and 3 other members. This marked a crucial step by giving the commission a constitutional status, thereby enhancing its authority and importance. In 2003, the 89th Constitutional Amendment further amended Article 338 and inserted a new article, that is 338A. This landmark amendment bifurcated the National Commission for Scheduled Castes and Scheduled Tribes into 2 separate commissions to provide a dedicated focus on the distinct issue of each community, such as the National Commission for Scheduled Castes under Article 338 and the National Commission for Scheduled Tribes under 338A. In 2004, the National Commission for Scheduled Tribes was formally established and became functional, with Kunwar Singh as its first chairperson. Its new explicit mandate under Article 338A includes investigating and monitoring safeguards for scheduled tribes, inquiring into specific complaints and participating in the planning process for their socio-economic development. This separation was a significant milestone, ensuring that the unique challenges and needs of tribal communities receive focused attention. Let us discuss the composition of the commission. The National Commission for Scheduled Tribes is structured to ensure effective representation and functioning. It consists of chairperson that holds a rank of Union Cabinet Minister, vice chairperson who holds the rank of a Minister of State, and members whose ranks are equivalent to that of a Secretary to Government of India. All members, including the chairperson and the vice chairperson, serve a terms of 3 years from the date of they assume the office. Now, let us discuss the vision and mission of the commission. The National Commission for Scheduled Tribes was established in India with the primary vision of safeguarding and promoting the interest, rights and welfare of scheduled tribes. Its core objective is to ensure that the constitutional and legal protections provided to the scheduled tribes are effectively implemented. This includes investigating specific complaints regarding the deprivation of rights and safeguards and participating in and advising on the socio-economic development of scheduled tribes. The National Commission for Scheduled Tribes work aims to reduce the disparities between the tribal population and the rest of society, empowering them through various measures like land rights, forest rights and educational and health initiatives. Ultimately, the Commission's vision is to foster a society where scheduled tribes communities can live with dignity, equality and justice, fully integrated into the national fabric while preserving their unique cultural identities. Now, what are the role and mandate of the Commission? Its primary role is to act as a watchdog, ensuring that the constitutional and legal protections provided to tribal communities are effectively implemented. The Commission has a broad mandate that includes investigating and monitoring all matters related to safeguards for scheduled tribes under the Constitution and other laws, such as participation in planning process. The National Commission for Scheduled Tribes actively participates in the planning processes related to the socio-economic development of scheduled tribes. It collaborates with both the union and state governments to ensure that policies and programs are tailored to needs of tribal communities. Evaluation and monitoring. The Commission evaluates the effectiveness of safeguards provided to scheduled tribes by the Indian Constitution, existing laws and government directives. It monitors the progress of scheduled tribes development at both the national level and state levels. Now, what are the specific function and duties of National Commission for Scheduled Tribes? The National Commission for Scheduled Tribes reviews implementation of protective laws, prevents land alienation, promotes educational and employment opportunities, and evaluates welfare schemes. The National Commission for Scheduled Tribes also submits its report to the President of India, ensuring accountability and recommending measures for the protection, welfare and advancement of scheduled tribes. The National Commission for Scheduled Tribes methodology is primarily centered around its constitutional mandate, which involves investigation and monitoring. The Commission investigates and monitors all matters related to constitutional and legal safeguards provided for scheduled tribes. This includes laws, government orders and policies meant for their protection and welfare. Inquiry into complaints. It has the power to inquire into specific complaints regarding the deprivation of rights and safeguards of the scheduled tribes. This is a crucial aspect of its work, as it directly addresses grievances and violations. Advisory role. The National Commission for Scheduled Tribes participates and advises on the planning process for socio-economic development of scheduled tribes. It also evaluates the progress of development schemes and programs, ensuring that they are effectively implemented. Reporting. The Commission represents annual reports to the President of India on the working of safeguards for scheduled tribes. These reports are then tabled in Parliament and are a key mechanism for ensuring accountability. The reports also include recommendations on the measures that the union and state governments should take for protection and welfare of tribal communities. Now, let us discuss the powers of methodology. Now, let us discuss the powers and methodology of the Commission. To perform its function effectively, the National Commission for Scheduled Tribes is vested with the powers of a civil court. This gives it the authority to summon and enforce attendance. It can summon and compel the attendance of any person from any part of India and examine them under oath. Production of documents. It can require the discovery and production of any relevant documents. Receive evidence. It can receive evidence on affidavits. Requisition public records. The Commission can requisition any public records or copy from any court or government office. Issue commissions. It can issue commissions for the examination of witness and documents. The civil court-like power is essential for National Commission for Scheduled Tribes to conduct thorough investigations and inquiries into complaints and policy matters. The Commission's approach is to use these powers to gather information, hold stakeholders accountable and provide informed recommendations to government to improve the lives of the scheduled tribes. Now, let us discuss the wings of National Commission for Scheduled Tribes. The National Commission for Scheduled Tribes is a constitutional body in India established to investigate, monitor and advise on all matters related to safeguards provided for scheduled tribes. To carry out its function, the National Commission for Scheduled Tribes is divided into several wings. These wings are responsible for addressing specific areas of concern and implementing the Commission's mandate. The main wings of National Commission for Scheduled Tribes are: first, Atrocity and Protection of Civil Rights Wing. This wing handles issues related to atrocities against scheduled tribes. It deals with complaints and the enforcement of law, such as the Protection of Civil Rights Act 1955 and Scheduled Castes and Scheduled Tribes Prevention of Atrocity Act 1989. The types of complaints its mandates include caste abuse, physical assault, threats, murder and other heinous crimes. The next one is Economic and Social Development Wings. The Economic and Social Development Wing's role is to participate in and advise on the planning process for socio-economic development of scheduled tribes. It evaluates the progress of development schemes and monitors the implementation of programs like the Tribal Sub-Plan, that is TSP, to ensure that the benefits reach the target population. The third wing is Service Safeguard and Coordination Wing. This wing addresses matters related to service safeguard for scheduled tribes in government services and public sector undertakings. It deals with complaints concerning the implementation of reservation policies, wrongful suspension, discrimination and issues related to false caste certificates. In conclusion, we can say the demographic profile and institutional safeguards for scheduled tribes highlight both their cultural richness and the persistent socio-economic challenges whatever they face. Despite constitutional protections, legislative measures and targeted schemes, issues such as land alienation, illiteracy, poor health care and underrepresentation in development continue to affect tribal communities. The establishment of the National Commission for Scheduled Tribes under Article 338A marks a significant milestone in ensuring focused attention on their rights and welfare. By functioning as a watchdog, policy advisor and grievance redressal body, the National Commission for Scheduled Tribes plays a significant role in bridging gap between constitutional ideals and ground realities. Its structured mandate, specialized wings and civil court-like powers make it a critical instrument for safeguarding tribal interests. Strengthening its effectiveness along with inclusive policies is essential to ensure that tribal communities are empowered, protected and integrated into national development while preserving their distinct identities. There are some references here. Thank you.